It's so dark and gloomy outside. Y'all, this video is gonna be long. I already feel it. I know it's gonna be long. I got my sweatpants on. I am super excited to be here and share all of this information I have with you guys. So I have gone to school for free for college, graduate school, and soon my doctoral program. Everything free. I'm gonna walk you through different ways that you can also get it for free. However, I wanna do a disclaimer in that I'm not an expert. I've done some of these methods. I know people who have done these methods, but you're gonna have to work your ass off. Like, this is not something where you're just like, oh yeah, I want free school. And what you need to think about is, what can you do yourself to make you the best candidate to get free tuition? Don't come on here just thinking that this is gonna be easy and all of that, because it's not. This is not for somebody who has a 2.0 and who doesn't do anything and just sits at home and like doesn't work. Like this, you know, this is not for you. This is not for somebody who's not a go-getter. Let's start with PhD program, fully funded PhD program. All you have to do to get free tuition in these certain PhD programs is get in. That's all you have to do. Now, as I said earlier, you're gonna have to work. This is for people who wanna work. Getting into the school is the hard part. But if you can master getting in, take that GRE, get that master's, whatever you need to do to get into that school, if you get in, it's free. All you need to do is go online and you're gonna type in fully funded PhD program. If you wanna get it in biology, if you wanna get an education, in psychology, you just type in the subject. So let's just start with education. Usually you'll have to be a full-time student, so you have to dedicate all of your time to this program. You may have to work a little bit, maybe do some kind of like internship while you're taking classes as well, but whatever it is they make you do, it's free tuition and you get a stipend. The reason I think that these programs want it to be fully funded is because you are doing research. As if you're getting a PhD, you are doing research for that institution, so they want you to do the research so that they can put their name on it. And so they're going to invest in you so that you can in turn invest in them by producing articles, by writing books, whatever it is. Basically the trade-off is you research for us and we'll give you school free. This is not for the faint of heart. It is going to be really hard to get in this school. My friend did it. She got her PhD from UGA about 2 years ago. She had a kid, she did it full time, and it was free. Now, how I'm gonna go to school for free for my doctorate, I'm not getting a PhD, I'm getting an EDD. And cross our fingers that I get in. There is a program called TAP, and TAP stands for Teachers Assistance Program. And this is for full-time benefits eligible employees in the University System of Georgia. Let's break that down. The University System of Georgia is like this big umbrella with lots of schools underneath. So there's Georgia Tech, Georgia State, Kennesaw State, other schools I can't remember. If you work for a school that's within the University System of Georgia and you're a full-time benefits eligible employee and you have worked at the institution for 6 months, you are then eligible to get free tuition. However, with the TAP program, the caveat is you have to go to a school that's also within the USG system. So say I wanted to go to California to go to school, TAP is not going to cover my tuition for that. I work at Georgia Tech, and I would like to get my doctorate. I applied to get my doctorate at UGA. So because the school I'm applying to is in the USG system, my tuition will be covered by USG. And I think the reason for this is because they want Georgia employees to stay like within each other. Like, they want us to be employees for a long time. They don't want us to leave. So this is just a great benefit. I want to take advantage of this because right now I'm single, I have no children. Like, this is the perfect time. So I gotta get this free money. And all I have to do is get in. I think you have to maintain a 3.0 like each semester in order to keep TAP. Besides that, all you have to do is get in. Money. So say that you don't want to go to a school within the USG system. They do have something called STRAP. And with STRAP, if you want to go to a different school, maybe like a different state or a private school, they will pay partial tuition for you. So it really is a great benefit to work for these institutions. So now let's move on to graduate school. So the first thing for graduate school is TAP. If you do work for your institution full-time, you can also get a master's degree. You don't have to just get a doctorate. But what I did, I was not eligible for TAP or STRAP because when I was at Georgia State, I was in school at the same time. So there was just no way that I could work full-time and get a master's full-time. What I did was get something called an assistantship. Again, this is not for the faint of heart. You have to work your ass off for this money. I went to Georgia State, parked, went inside financial aid, and I was like, what are you gonna do for me? I need free tuition. And the lady was like, Aaron, I'm sorry, like, you can't. So I went to financial aid 3 separate times within an hour, probably within maybe a couple hours. 3 separate times to the same woman, sat in the same chair. The first 2 times, the first two times, she told me that she couldn't do anything for me. There was nothing, da-da-da. The third time, she was so tired of me coming in, asking like, I know there's something, I know there's something. She literally was like, Aaron, there's this place called the Crim Center in the College of Education. I think now it's called the College of Human Development. She was like, go to the 6th floor, the 5th floor, whatever of this building. Literally walked my ass to the Crim Center, got an assistantship on the spot. On the spot. I actually had 2 assistantships. The first one was this at the Crim Center, and I would teach on the weekend. I did that for about 6 months, but then I found another assistantship in the Dean of Students office at Georgia State, and how I got that job was because I actually applied to be on the Student Conduct Board at Georgia State because I was just trying to be involved, and they rejected me. And I was like, why did y'all reject me? Like, I have a 3.4 from Howard, da 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 da. So when I got rejected from the Student Conduct Board, I was like, oh no, I need to meet with the advisor because why are you not accepting me on this board? And so I met with the advisor, and she said that my GPA was too low. And I was like, well, what's the GPA requirement? She's like, a 3.0. I was like, well, I have a 3.0. And she's like, no, this says you have like a 0. And what's funny is they only took my Georgia State GPA. I graduated from Howard in DC. So why are you only taking my Georgia State GPA? I took summer classes at Georgia State when I was in college, and I failed a class one summer. So it looks like my GPA is 0. I passed the other 2 classes, but the F like brought my GPA. So maybe I had like a 1 or a 2 or something at Georgia State, but I only took 3 classes at Georgia State undergrad, but I got my degree from Howard. Like, you should take my Howard stuff. And the reason I failed that class was because I had just broken up with my boyfriend, or actually my boyfriend had dumped, my first boyfriend ever dumped me. And I was just devastated. I couldn't even like walk. So I just failed this class. And I was like, well, it doesn't matter because I don't go to Georgia State. And it's not, and I don't, you know, it's not gonna, Howard's not gonna know that I failed. So it doesn't matter. My advisor was like, you know, it's a loophole. This has never happened before. However, we have assistantship opportunities, and we'd love to hire you to come work for us and get free tuition in the Dean of Students office, because clearly it shows that you care and like you failed and you still, you know, you're here and you're talking to me. Da, da. So I guess she saw my, what's the word? Grit? I don't know. I don't know. She saw something in me because I was like fighting for what I wanted. Interviewed, got the assistantship, and they paid my tuition and gave me a stipend. The assistantship route, you're gonna have to work your ass off. This is not, oh, well, I applied online and I didn't hear back. No, you need to go in the office, walk around, go to every single department that you can go to. If there's nothing posted online, walk around. I had no ties to the Dean of Students office. Why would I even think the Dean of Students office has an assistantship? I would only know because you have to ask questions, you have to go, you have to try. There's no such thing as can't. Get it done. Another way that I did not do is to become a teaching assistant or a research assistant. Not too familiar with these, but I know a lot of students at Georgia Tech go this route. As I said, be up in somebody's office, be up in somebody's office hours, email, do whatever you need to do. If it's not posted online, go in and ask questions, get her done. Now for college, there are lots of different ways for college. I've written down like 8 different things. The first one is merit-based scholarship. That's pretty much the standard. Get the GPA, you get the SAT or ACT score, and it's automatic. When I went to Howard, I believe I had a 3.4, and my SAT score, I got an 1890. So it was all right. And I got my tuition paid for. I just applied early action. They sent me my application in the mail. Once you open it, like once you open your acceptance letter, it'll tell you how much money they're gonna give you. It's just automatic. A lot of schools are like that, so you need to call around whatever school you wanna go to. How can I get this money? You need to call around and ask. I would encourage you to apply early action because they run out of money at a certain time. A good friend of mine went to Syracuse, same thing. All she did was apply, and they sent her acceptance package, and they told her within the acceptance letter how much tuition she got. So say, you know, you don't get the best of grades, maybe you're not a good test taker, I get it. If you live in Georgia, there's something called the Hope Scholarship and the Zell Miller Scholarship. For the Hope Scholarship, all you need to do, and this is just like the best thing ever, all you need to do is get a 3.0 in your core classes. So that's like your math, your science. So don't be trying to pad your GPA to get a 3.0 and take some art classes, because they're not going to calculate that. Then you have to take like 4 rigor classes, and the rigor classes I had already taken. So it's like pre-cal, and you know, I'll put it on the screen here. You get tuition paid for like 85% if you go to a school within Georgia. The Zell Miller Scholarship will pay your entire tuition. You have to get 3.7 GPA and your SAT or ACT score is calculated. So with Hope, SAT doesn't even matter. Get your ass a 3.0, get into school and call it a day. So now what if you're just like, I'm horrible with grades, I have a 2.0, what can I do to get my tuition down? You might not be able to get it free, but you can get it down. Don't go to a school out of state. Go to your local public school. There's no point for you to go to a private school if you're just paying all this money. Just go to in-state. go to a community college first. People don't want to do this route because they feel like dumb, but that's very odd. If you don't have the grades and you don't have the money, go to a junior college for 2 years, then you transfer while you're at JUCO for those 2 years, bust your butt, get a part-time job so you can save your money, and then transfer to a bigger school and you will get a degree from that school, but paid half the tuition. Go to a cost-effective school. So for this video, I did call around. It's actually hard to find scholarships online for some of these schools. It's also hard to find what GPA requirement and what the SAT requirement or ACT requirement is needed to get into the school. I don't know why, but that's no excuse. You need to go into these offices and call. So I called Kennesaw State and I was like, hey, like I don't see anything online about scholarships. And they were like, well, we are one of the most cost-effective schools in the entire state of Georgia. You have to get accepted and then you apply for scholarships once you get accepted. And Kennesaw State, it really does have one of the cheapest tuitions that I've seen. Dual enrollment. I went to private school, so we did not have dual enrollment. A lot of my public school friends did dual enrollment, so they went to college and they went to high school. For like juniors and seniors, half the day they'll take college credit classes and the other half the day they'll be in their high school classes. That is such a huge benefit. And then when you do go to college, you're like a sophomore already, so that's 1 year tuition you don't have to pay for. Another one is joining the military. I do not know anything about this, so I'm just gonna skip over that, but military is an option. Become an RA on campus. So if you become an RA, a lot of the times you will get room and board free and you will get a meal plan. So if you wanna cut costs a different way and you don't have the option of staying home, becoming an RA will significantly cut down on your living expenses. So don't think just because you went to school and you didn't get any scholarship money that you can't work your ass off when you're a freshman once you get into college for scholarships. So many scholarships. Go to your scholarship office. There are external scholarships. I'm not even going to get into that. You can research those on your own. In Georgia, there's also another program called Tuition Exchange Program. If your parent or guardian or spouse works for one of these lists of schools who participates in the tuition exchange program, your child, dependent, whatever spouse can go to another list of schools for free. And that's part of the benefit of whoever works at that institution. I know someone who worked at Agnes Scott College and their child went to Eckerd College for free just because their mom worked at Agnes Scott. Make it work. Make it work. And as I said, I feel like I sound like a tape recorder, but you need to work your ass off. Get it together. You need to ask questions. What scholarships do you guys have? What SAT score do I need? What ACT score do I need? What GPA do I need? You have to make this a part-time job. Like this isn't something like, oh, I went in there for 2 days straight and no one said anything. And did you go in there for 2 months straight? No, you didn't. So you need to work hard. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.